Beneath the dense canopy of the Amazon rainforest lies one of the greatest unsolved mysteries in human history. Everyone knows the Amazon as Earth's largest rainforest, but almost no one knows what lies beneath it. We're talking about ancient cities, long-lost civilizations, and maybe even something golden. For centuries, explorers chased myths like Eldorado, the fabled city of gold. Most gave up, some disappeared. But today, cutting-edge tech is revealing buried structures, strange patterns in the ground, and even secret rivers. Stay with us till the end, because what we're about to uncover might rewrite everything we thought we knew about history. And just when you think it can't get stranger, wait till you hear what lies 4 kilometers beneath the surface. The Amazon River is massive, but what if we told you it's not alone? In 2011, Brazilian scientists confirmed something stunning: a second river, flowing silently and invisibly, 13,000 feet below the surface. They named it the Hamza River, after geophysicist Vale Hamza, who led the discovery. It's not a trickle. It stretches over 3,700 miles, nearly as long as the Amazon itself. But while the Amazon rushes above, the Hamza crawls, slowly, heavily, and quietly, deep beneath the earth. It's hidden beneath sediment, impossible to detect by eye, and was only found through temperature and pressure readings from deep boreholes. Now here's where it gets strange. The Hamza flows in the same direction as the Amazon, west to east, and it's wide, almost 200 miles in some areas. Scientists admit its origin is still unclear. It might be natural, but what if it isn't? Some researchers speculate it could be part of an ancient underground irrigation or transport system, evidence of a forgotten civilization with earth-shaping abilities. Others wonder, could it connect to underground chambers, cities, or vaults that still remain undiscovered? Some claim that deep in the jungle, strange subsonic sounds have been recorded, too rhythmic, too structured to be natural. Could these be the echoes of buried architecture or forgotten machines? But here's the part that changes everything. It's not just what's beneath the ground, it's what was built on top of it. For centuries, explorers described the Amazon as a green desert, vast, uninhabited, and untouched by complex civilizations. But now we know that's completely wrong. Thanks to LiDAR, laser scanning technology that sees through dense forest, archaeologists have discovered hundreds of ancient structures hidden beneath the jungle canopy. These aren't just huts or tribal camps. We're talking about pyramid-shaped mounds, geometric road systems, and cities that stretched across hundreds of acres. One such site is Javari, located in Bolivia. Built by a civilization that lived here over 1,500 years ago, Javari was no simple village. It featured elevated causeways, canals, reservoirs, and massive platforms. Some settlements were so large, they may have supported over 10,000 people each. And yet, these places were abandoned long before the Spanish ever arrived. Why? That remains a mystery. Was it disease? A sudden environmental collapse? Or could they have fled from something or someone? In the Upano Valley of Ecuador, similar cities have been found. Thousands of platforms, connected by roads, dating back to 500 BC. These weren't isolated anomalies. They were part of a sophisticated, interconnected society that thrived in the heart of the rainforest. It turns out the Amazon wasn't empty. It was full of people, full of purpose, and maybe full of gold. But if that's true, why did they leave? The Amazon wasn't untouched. It was shaped, managed, engineered. Here's something just as wild as the lost cities: the Amazon's DNA. Over a third of all known species on Earth live here. Many can't be found anywhere else. From glow-in-the-dark mushrooms to tiny monkeys with finger-sized limbs, the biodiversity is staggering. But how did so many rare creatures evolve in one place? Biologists believe part of the answer lies in the Amazon's chaotic history. This region has faced extreme floods, massive droughts, even possible meteor strikes, all shaping what lives and dies here. Some experts think ancient human societies might have even guided evolution, selectively planting, cultivating, and domesticating plants long before Western agriculture existed. Then there's this. In the Colombian Amazon, researchers uncovered shark teeth miles away from the nearest ocean. They're fossilized, yes, but their presence raises questions. Could the area have once been submerged? Or worse, was it violently flooded from the sea? Imagine this. Thousands of years ago, a massive wave, triggered by an asteroid or quake, washes deep into the jungle, mixing sea with soil. Creatures perish, civilizations disappear. But the survivors? They adapt, they change, their genes remember. Today's jungle could be the product of both natural chaos and human design. A living archive, holding secrets not just in stone, but in blood. You've heard the myths, but what if Eldorado wasn't a fantasy, but a forgotten memory? Eldorado, the city of gold. They called it many names: Manoa, Lake Parime, even the city of Z. These weren't just stories passed down in taverns. They were missions, expeditions, obsessions. To the Spanish, it was more than a myth. It was a calling, a compulsion. But here's the twist. Eldorado was never a city, not originally. The term comes from El Hombre Dorado, the Golden Man. Early explorers heard tales of a tribal king who covered himself in gold dust and bathed in sacred lakes. These stories led the Spanish deeper into the jungle, to Lake Guatavita in Colombia, then the Orinoco Basin, and eventually deep into the uncharted Amazon. Many never returned. One of them was Colonel Percy Fawcett, a British explorer obsessed with what he called the City of Z. In 1925, he vanished into the jungle with his son, never to return. Some say he was killed by hostile tribes. Others believe he found something and chose not to come back. But what if the legend was based on something real, just misunderstood? Instead of one golden city, what if there was an entire golden civilization, rich in culture, knowledge, and yes, precious metals? In the Vale de Javari, near Brazil's western border, satellite images and restricted tribal zones hide what may be the key. This area is home to over 20 uncontacted tribes. It's protected and completely off-limits to outsiders. But locals speak of ancient structures buried beneath the forest, built by the ancestors of these isolated groups. Spanish records tell of people wearing golden masks, jewelry, and ceremonial garb, unlike anything seen elsewhere in South America. They spoke of cities built with symmetry, balance, and astronomical precision. Could the descendants of this golden society still live, not in stone cities but deep within living forests? Could Eldorado be less of a place and more of a legacy, scattered across the Amazon in traditions, ruins, and rituals? We may never find streets paved with gold, but that doesn't mean Eldorado never existed. It might just be hidden in plain sight, waiting for someone to connect the dots. If you fly over the southern Amazon during the dry season, you'll notice something odd: shapes in the dirt, massive ones, geoglyphs carved directly into the landscape. They were discovered in the early 2000s after deforestation exposed parts of the terrain. What emerged stunned archaeologists. Over 450 gigantic geometric formations, some more than 3,000 years old. Perfect circles, squares, and straight lines stretching across acres, some aligned with the stars. Others formed what looked like road maps or even symbols. Who built these? No one knows for sure, but they predate the Inca and don't match any known Andean culture. Their size and complexity suggest advanced planning, large labor forces, and a shared system of knowledge across distant regions. And then came the big question: why did they stop? Did the builders vanish? Were they wiped out? Or could the glyphs themselves be part of a larger message? Some researchers now think these may be land-coded information systems, markers, guides, or even warning signs pointing to something deeper in the jungle. What if the geoglyphs aren't random? What if they form a map to something we've missed? The jungle isn't just alive, it's a palimpsest, a story written over itself, and the next chapter may be buried below. What we might find if we dare to dig deeper, and why some believe the jungle wants it kept secret. We've uncovered roads, pyramids, canals, even secret rivers. But what if that's only the surface? What if the real truth lies much deeper, beneath layers of time, soil, and secrecy? Imagine we keep digging, and instead of pottery shards, we find temples. Not ruins, but whole complexes, intact, hidden beneath the jungle for thousands of years. Walls inscribed with forgotten languages. Chambers lined with gold leaf. Libraries of stone holding records of an unknown history. Sounds like a myth? Perhaps. But history has a habit of hiding secrets in plain sight. Think of Angkor Wat, buried by jungle for centuries, or the Mayan cities of Tikal and Calakmul, discovered only with modern technology. Why should the Amazon be different? Some researchers believe we've only uncovered 5% of what's out there. The rest is still hidden, waiting beneath the foliage, shielded by centuries of silence. And here's the wildest part. What if these civilizations didn't just vanish, but chose to disappear? What if they buried themselves, their cities, their gold, their knowledge, to keep it safe from conquest, colonization, or worse? We're not just chasing myths, we're following clues. And they all seem to point to one possibility. Eldorado wasn't a dream. It was a chapter, one the Earth has been trying to forget, and we're just starting to remember. The Amazon isn't just a rainforest hiding secrets. It might be the secret, a living puzzle of rivers, ruins, and riddles, all pointing to a lost story we're only beginning to understand. The real Eldorado may not be gold-covered streets, but a civilization so advanced, so hidden, it's become legend. So what do we do now? Do we reveal it all, or let some legends stay hidden? So now you've seen the clues. Ancient roads, hidden rivers, and legends carved in gold. But one question remains. Is Eldorado a forgotten myth, or a truth the jungle refuses to surrender? Subscribe now to keep following the trail, because this is only one piece of a much bigger puzzle. What do you think is buried under the Amazon? We're following the clues, but maybe you've seen something we missed. Drop your theory below. Stay curious and join us as we explore the hidden chapters of human history.